Many. It's just one of many agencies that probably most Americans have never heard of within the national security and intelligence establishment. And as we found, you know, there are 39 new construction starts this year alone nationwide of buildings going up for various pieces of the intelligence, homeland security, and military communities.
The growth of the military budget, Bill Arkin, since 9/11?
Well, you know, it's hard to say even what we spend on national security anymore, Amy. I guess we say we spend $500 billion now on national security. But with supplemental budgets and secret budgets and all that, I mean, it's really impossible to be able to put a true figure on it. And more importantly, it's really impossible to gauge where this money is actually going and how effective it is. We've talked to people on the Hill who've said to us that the budget documents get thinner and thinner as the budget gets bigger and bigger. There's no way that Capitol Hill has the resources or the ability to oversee all of this activity. And all sorts of workarounds and devices have been created since 9/11 to essentially put as much as possible into secret programs or off-the-books programs so that they're beyond scrutiny. Maybe there'll be 8 people in the Congress who have the authority to see the information, but you know, that's not oversight as it's written in the Constitution. Those are people who are co-opted into the system. And I think that really this is an issue that we as Americans need to ponder, that we have created a government apparatus that really does not comply with our very precept of the balance of powers, and that's something that I hope that our series will provoke Congress to take a hard look at in terms of thinking about better ways in which it can exercise its oversight responsibilities over the executive branch.
Bill, you've been doing this kind of work for years. What were you most shocked by in this latest investigation?
I remember having a conversation with Dana, my writing partner, in the summer of 2009. We had sort of started by looking at the government and then shifted our attention to looking at the contracting base. And I said, wow, there's 200 companies that do top secret work for the government. And now we're at 2,000. I mean, it is the sheer magnitude of it, Amy, that is stunning. And to me, you know, it's not that there might not be redundancies that are necessary or that there might not be overlap which is necessary in disparate departments doing disparate things. And many of the conclusions that we draw, I think, are ones that your viewers and listeners would accept readily and are part of their normal discussions of government. But the truth is that no one really has a handle on it all. No one really does. We've talked to the people at the highest level. We've talked to the principals involved, and they have all readily admitted that, yes, this ad hoc, crazy system was created after 9/11. We threw money at the problem. We did it the American way. Admiral Blair said to us, you know, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. I mean, ha-ha. But the truth of the matter is that now we're two years into the Obama administration, and the basic system really has not been reformed at all.
Lay out for us what we will see over the next 2 days. This is a 3-part series, and also the database that you have collated. What is online at WashingtonPost.com?
Well, this is a very rich digital journalism project. I would almost go as far to say that this is a digital product with a small print component to it. As much as the Washington Post has allocated 5 pages to the newspaper today, to our first in this series, the online presentation includes a link analysis application which will allow you to look at government agencies and look at functions and see how many contractors work for them at the top secret level and at how many locations, and to look at some of the featured companies that we discuss in the article series and look at who they work for and some of their locations. There's also a mapping application that allows you to delve into the presence of Top Secret America in your own community. And then there's a profile of each of those 3,000 plus entities where you can look in more detail at their revenue, the size of the companies, and what it is that they do in this field. So we've provided, as is the nature of the Internet, the actual backup material to do it. But it wasn't a second thought to the stories. It wasn't like we wrote stories and then said, let's put a web presentation together. From the very inception of this project, we have worked in unison with the website, and we've had a team of over 30 people working with us, and that's an enormous amount of resources these days in the mainstream media to be able to have really what we consider to be the future of investigative journalism displayed in these various multimedia ways, with documentary footage, with photo galleries, with a database that's searchable. We have a Facebook page, and there is a URL, topsecretamerica.com, where you can see our blog that'll launch today and that will be starting to write on Thursday, as well as online discussions and other comments and commentary from our readers.
Well, Bill, I want to thank you very much for being with us. Bill Arkin, a reporter for The Washington Post, co-authored this investigative series that has just been released today in The Washington Post called Top Secret America.